Greetings, light workers. This is Oya Transformation, and this is your oracle reading for February the 14th, St. Valentine's Day, Monday, 2022. The cards have been shuffled and divined, and the messages are as follows. The first card that fell from the Sacred Rebels deck is Diving for Light. Diving for Light. It's a number 11, which is a gateway. It's also two ones, which is asking for very strong leadership, a little less ego, and being clear about your identity. Kind of stuffy. In this day and time, you can't be stuffy without being COVID ridden. No, I got sinuses. So, diving for light. You know, we talk about being light workers, and we talk about holding a space for the energy of good things, for the energy of the next best development. However, there are places in our life where we can't see. We may be in a dark place and we don't understand. And so the idea of holding the light is one thing. Diving for the light means you don't see it, and that's another level of holding light. Because if you don't see it in your immediate circumstances, in your immediate challenge, then you have to have a special place within yourself that no matter what's going on, you hold a twinkle, you hold a candle, you hold a space in your heart that you know what you know what you know, that you have been here before, no matter whether it was in this specific circumstance, but you've been in a place before where you may not be able to grasp the light as quickly as you would like to, but you know it's coming. You know it's coming. The next card that supports and challenges diving for the light is from the Animal Medicine deck, and it is the 20 of Mouse Medicine, which reduces to a 2, and that's where the duality comes in. We could look at the diving for the light as a duality card as well, because for as much as 11 is the gateway, 1 and 1 is 2, and the belief that source is all begins to diminish when we start thinking about what about the other side of the coin? What about the other shoe that would drop? What about instead of holding the space that all will be well no matter what? So, Mouse Medicine talks about how many people really don't like mice. Mice is not, one of those critters that you see and go, oh, it's so cute, I want to hold them. People start throwing things, stomping, poisoning. Birds drop from the sky. Cats run and sit patiently and wait. Mouse got a lot to do. He got to be real careful just to survive. So if we are in a place where we are in need to have a need to hold the light, so that we can know that the sun will come up again, so that we can know that this too will pass. Mouse Medicine is calling for us to scrutinize our moves, because the mouse feels his way through with his whiskers, but he's got to be real close to stuff to sense danger, even though they have a very high sense for danger. He still got to get a little too close. What mice are meticulous, they are high organizers, and if you are one of another kind of medicine energy person, you probably see a mouse person or mouse medicine person and say, oh, here we go, because mice are nitpickers. They chew everything their whiskers touch. So in some respects, it gets them through and gets them out of danger, but it has them sit in places longer than necessary. On the flip side, The mouse also has brought about the time for specialization, because there was a time when you think about it, you went to your general practitioner and they had a whole list of all kinds of things that they needed to check out about you, and they kept that list and checked them off, and they knew what was going on. The mouse medicine brought about the time for specialization, because now that GP checks that little space off, and in general he looks at each of those spaces and sends you to somewhere else, to someone who practices mouse medicine in that specific area, who will who will put his whiskers close to whatever areas that look like they may be out of balance and help you to shift those back in balance. So there is a need for scrutiny, a heightened sense of specialty, deep looking at things. However, the mouse still has to come back to our original space of knowing it will pass. There will be light. There will be light. No matter how deep you look at a thing and you get it down to a specific place with a microscope, we've got to come back and look at the big picture. Where is the light? Even if I don't see it, I have an obligation to my fellow souls to hold the light. The final card in this reading is from the Lantern Oracle deck, and it is Radical Self-Acceptance. And I love this card. When you look at this lady, she has obviously had a single mastectomy, but she is wearing her robes, and she's got her head turned to the side, and she's not super conscious about who's looking at her how. She is real clear who she is. She is still beautiful. She is still thriving. She has had some experiences that she has walked through, and she's here to tell about them. So, I say to you today, it's Valentine's Day, and it'll come again. If you have somebody special in your life and it's going great, give thanks. If it's not going great, recognize that we have an obligation to look for the light, look for the hope. And get out of the mouse medicine. Back up a little bit, because it has its pros and its cons. Yes, it's good to specialize, but it's also good to back up and see the big picture. Because if you don't have someone in your life, Valentine's Day is about love. There is, and if there isn't, then you might want to shake that up and do something different, because there's a lot of love to give, and there's a lot of love out here to receive. And it's not just one day of the year. It's something we do over and over again. So that maybe when that mouse medicine kicks up in a specific area and has you spending just a little bit too much time dwelling on something that you can't quite figure out, which allows danger closer to you, you can pull back, thank your Creator for all the experiences you have pulled through, and take a good look in the mirror with some radical self-acceptance about exactly who you were, who you are, and who you're becoming. Happy Valentine's Day, and don't let those little squeakers get in the way of you seeing the beauty within yourself. Thank you for listening, and have the best day of your choosing. Happy Monday. Be well.